Welcome to Drishti Judiciary. This MCQ series for the Supreme Court Clerk exam will sharpen your accuracy, strengthen concepts, and help you master the exam pattern. Let's begin with previous day's practice question. The question was, what does Article 137 of the Indian Constitution deal with? Judicial review of laws by the Supreme Court, power of Supreme Court to review its own judgments, procedure for the impeachment of the President, or power of Parliament to enact laws on matters in the Union List. The correct answer is option B. Article 137 of the Indian Constitution grants the Supreme Court of India the power to review its own judgments or orders. It provides the mechanism by which the court can reconsider its earlier decisions, provided the review is sought based on grounds such as a mistake or error in the judgment. This article ensures the flexibility of the judicial process while maintaining judicial discipline. Hence, B is the correct option. Let's begin today's session. The first question is, the Supreme Court judgment expanded the collegium for the selection of High Court and Supreme Court judges in which case? A.K. Gopalan versus State of Madras, Bennett Coleman versus Union of India, A.K. Roy versus Union of India, or Supreme Court Advocates on Record Association versus Union of India. The correct answer is option D. The Supreme Court Advocates on Record Association versus Union of India 1993 is the landmark case in which the Supreme Court expanded the collegium system for the selection of judges to the Supreme Court and High Courts. In this judgment, the court ruled that the Chief Justice of India and a collegium of 4 senior-most judges of the Supreme Court should have the authority to recommend appointments and transfers of judges, ensuring judicial independence and autonomy from executive interference. This case replaced the earlier executive-driven method and established the current system of judicial appointments in India. Hence, D is the correct option. Next, what is a sound mind for the purposes of contracting? A person who is said to be of sound mind for the purposes of making a contract if, at the time when he makes it, he is capable of understanding it and of forming a rational judgment as to its effect upon his interest. A person is said to be sound mind for the purposes of making a contract if, at the time when he makes it, he is capable of understanding it. A person is said to be sound mind for the purposes of making a contract if he is capable of forming a rational judgment as to its effect upon his interest. Or, a person is said to be of sound mind for the purposes of making a contract if he is of sound mind and capable of forming an opinion. The correct answer is option A. According to Section 12 of the Indian Contract Act 1872, a person is considered to be of sound mind for the purposes of making a contract if, at the time of entering into a contract, he is capable of understanding the terms and of forming a rational judgment about the effect of the contract on his interests. This definition specifically focuses on the mental state at the time of contracting, ensuring that the person can understand the contract's implications and consequences. Hence, A is the correct option. Next, the consideration may be past, present, future, all of the above. The correct answer is option D. According to Section 2D of the Indian Contract Act 1872, consideration refers to something of value that is exchanged between the parties to contract. It can be past, a consideration that has already been given before the contract was formed. For example, if a person promises to pay for something that has already been done, example, a previous act. Present, consideration that occurs at the time the contract is made. For example, the payment made for goods or services rendered immediately. Future, consideration that will be provided after the contract is made. For example, agreeing to pay money for goods to be delivered in the future. Therefore, consideration can be past, present, or future depending on the nature of the contract. Hence, D is the correct option. Next, which authority has been empowered under BNSS 2023 to authorize preventive detention for up to 90 days in certain cases? District Magistrate, Chief Judicial Magistrate, Executive Magistrate, or Superintendent of Police? The correct answer is option A. The District Magistrate continues to have powers under BNSS to authorize preventive detention in certain situations where it is necessary to prevent a breach of peace or public order. While the BNSS emphasizes safeguarding liberty, it also recognizes the administrative necessity of preventive action in exceptional cases. The maximum period for such detention without judicial scrutiny is 90 days, following which judicial review becomes mandatory. Hence, A is the correct option. Next, the summons should contain the following information except the name of the court, the names of the parties, a summary of evidence, or the time and place of appearance. The correct answer is option C. A summons typically includes the name of the court, the name of the parties, and the time and place of appearance, but it does not usually contain a summary of evidence. Hence, C is the correct option. Next, what punishment is prescribed in the section 103 of BNS for murder? Life imprisonment only, death penalty only, life imprisonment or death penalty, or community service? The correct answer is option C. Section 103 prescribes life imprisonment, remainder of natural life, or death for murder with an added fine. Hence, C is the correct option. Next, a dying declaration is admissible in civil proceedings, criminal proceedings, civil as well as criminal proceedings, or marital proceedings. The correct answer is option C. A dying declaration is admissible in evidence in both civil and criminal proceedings when the facts of the case involve matters related to the cause or circumstances of the person's death. Hence, C is the correct option. Next, which section of the BNS defines the term gender to include transgender individuals? Section 2 subsection 8, Section 2 subsection 10, Section 3 subsection 1, or Section 4 subsection 2? The correct answer is option B. Section 2 subsection 10 of BNS includes male, female, and transgender persons in the definition of gender. Hence, B is the correct option. Next, admission is a weak piece of evidence, a conclusive proof of fact stated, evidence on which court act, or not conclusive proof but act as estoppel. The correct answer is option D. An admission is a statement which is against the interest of the person making it. It is relevant in evidence and the court may act upon it, but it is not conclusive proof of the fact stated. It may operate as an estoppel, preventing the party from denying it in certain situations. Hence, D is the correct option. The last question is, which of the following is correct? Proposal and acceptance result into promise. Promise and consideration result into agreement. Agreement and enforceability result into contract. Or all of the above. The correct answer is option D. A proposal, when accepted, becomes a promise. An agreement is formed when a promise is supported by consideration. Only when an agreement is enforceable by law does it become a contract. Hence, D is the correct option. This was the last episode of our MCQ sessions. If you found this helpful, don't forget to like, share and subscribe to the Drishti Judiciary YouTube channel.